Okay, so in this case, we're supposed to simplify a radical, but there's a negative under the radical. And so to do this, it's exactly the same as our typical simplifying of radicals, but we've got to remember this definition. We've got to remember that I equals the square root of -1. And so if we can isolate the square root of -1, then we can replace that with I. Okay, so if that's the case for this problem, I can break this up as the square root of, and I've got -1 for my negative sign, and then 98. Let's think about 98 for a minute. 98, 50 would be 100, right? 50 times 2 would be 100. And so 49 times 2 would be 98, because that takes the 2 away. And so if I got 49 times 2, well, then that's 7 and 7, because 7 squared is 49. And so what I can then do here is rewrite this as, I've got my -1 under the radical, I've got a 2 under the radical, and then I have a 7 squared under the radical. Well, I can break that radical up because that radical is nothing more than a fractional exponent. I can break that radical up about the individual factors. Factors means multiplication. I can break it up around multiplication, not addition. Absolutely not addition. But I can break it up around multiplication. And so that'll give me the square root of -1, the square root of 2, and the square root of 7 squared. Well, the square root of -1 is my I up here. The square root of 7 squared is 7. And so the way I'm going to rewrite this all final and nice is I'm going to write this as 7I square roots of 2. There's no rule saying you have to write it that way. Oop, ESPN's popping in. There's no rule saying we have to write it that way, but we typically put the integer portion to the left of our complex number, the complex number in the middle, and then the irrational or the leftover square root to the right of the I. Makes it easier to read that way. Hope this helps out.